This episode of Broken Bones and Bullshit is sponsored by Ozcan Rural. So my next guest is Tony Dunne from Dunne's Bulls. Welcome on the show, mate.
Thanks for having me.
So your story is a little different to most, how you got into breeding the bucking bulls. Tell us how all that started.
Yep, definitely. I'm not from a rodeo family or anything along those lines. My dad, he started off with the bulls. We've got a couple of places around CQ here, and at the time we had a person living at Dingo, and they were short a couple of bulls for the local bull rider bluff, and he's like, hey, can we borrow some of these herd bulls for the bull ride on the weekend? And Dad's like, sure. Just they're there, take them up. And then Dad took his kids up, and we went up and watched this bull ride, and that was it was like insane. And then ever since then it's just been,
yeah, this is what we're doing.
This is what we want. This is how fun's this? Like,
yeah. And how long after that did you buy your first set of cows?
That was say 1995, and then Dad always said we're not going to buy or breed rodeo cattle, we're just going to use herd bulls. And that went along okay until I was old enough. Then we thought, right,
yeah.
I finished school in 2005, 2006 went out and got the first set of cows. And then from there it sort of went off that.
And tell us what breeding you sort of started with, which bloodlines? We
went out, and probably a couple of years before I finished school, Dad put a couple of old bulls just over commercial cows. So we had a couple of half cold blood ones coming through. They were only calves still at the time. And then we went out and bought some speedy cows off Casper, bit of Just Andy through them. Got some Woodall heifers off down Brandenburg. We bought cows off Ken Hansen. We bought them off Pete Blackall. And they're all from them guys like Pete Blackall. There was a couple of two heifers there that were by Mighty Adam, like an old by Frank Biddles, and a couple of dandy heifers and a couple of Cotton Eye Joe cows as well. So all different lines, all different bulls, all different styles, but
yeah,
we're not prejudiced on anyone's breed or anything. We just wanted a variety of everything and to bring it in and then cross it over their stuff.
Start with that as your foundation, and then you can go whichever way you want to go.
Yeah, and off that, then we had a few of our own bulls. We started putting over them that we thought were good enough, but then a couple of years of doing that, then we thought we'll do the AI deal, and we bringing straws over and started AI, and it sort of snowballed pretty quick from there.
And you had a fair bit of success with them first cows and heifers you got.
Yeah, definitely.
You got some good bulls. What were some of the names that come out of that first sort of crop of cows you got?
Out of the speedy cow line and Just Andy cross mix off Casper and that, there was Domino Effect, Rock the House, that sort of style of bull. And then it wasn't long after that we started AI in that line of cows, and Troubled Soul and a couple of them other bigger, better bulls come along.
And is Lost Soul related to him?
Son.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
So he's his grandmother we got off Casper as one of our
cool
foundation cows. So worked out pretty good. And then with them Woodall cows off Brandy, they were really kind to us. With little Mudslide and Jackie Howe, they were very, very good for us for a long time.
Yeah.
And then when you get that style of bull, breeding becomes not easy, but you can just put them bulls back into the herd and it just sort of happens.
Yeah. Yeah, and before you know it, your whole program's boosted pretty quickly.
In a big way.
Yeah.
And AI and all that's all good, but it's really easy just to put a good bull out in the cows and to get a larger volume of calves and buy a select bull. So
and it was, so within like a few years you sort of had a pretty tight pen already.
Yeah, it didn't take long. By I'll say 2010 sort of thing, it started to get it roll on then, and we were like, we've been going to the PBR back since 2004. I think we started 2003, and then bull ride in Australia, and then into the PBR. But then by 2010, our first lot of bulls, it sort of bred up through hitting and rolling. So that was pretty exciting for us. So we had like that Skull. He was a great bull for us for a long time, and we bought a couple other bulls. Inmate and infantryman, a couple of bulls we bought off Adam Powers up at Townsville, and they were his sort of stable mate, and they were very good bulls too for us.
And you looking back on it, you'd probably owe not having any prejudice on the breeding to your success.
Oh, definitely, and even to the day, you can't just go somewhere and think just because they're your bulls, they're the best bulls. You got to just get rid of all that and just enjoy the bulls for the bulls, and just look at a whole pen of bulls on a whole, and oh yeah, I like that bull, I like that bull. It doesn't matter who owns them or what's going on. And just if you're clear and open with yourself, it's a bit easier.
Yeah, and it's like them because we got the BBAs back home. They're in a big way, and there's fellas that have 3 cows and then they're rocking up with 2 bull calves. They're like, holy.
Yeah.
And they're just fiddling, having fun with it, like not looking to take your job or be a big contractor, but they're just happy to have fun with it. And
it's such an enjoyable sport, whether you got hundreds of bulls, hundreds of cows, or 2 and 3.
It'd be more enjoyable with 3.
Way more enjoyable. Way more enjoyable.
Not
a lot less
fixing
stressful.
as many fences.
I always tell someone, if you don't like someone, get them into rodeo boys. It's like everything. If you enjoy it for the bulls and enjoy it for the sport, get involved. It's take a couple of bulls along, get into it. It can be a lot of fun.
And it's a credit to you, like the quality when the animals rock up, just the nick everything is in.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal, eh? Like there'll be a drought up here, and you go to a rodeo up here, and you think that there's no drought on.
Yeah,
because everything that rocks up, it's looking shiny, it's looking good.
You got to look after, not like everything. You look after the bulls, they look after you.
Yes, sir.
You got to treat them like athletes, and they perform like athletes. It's not there's a bull ride in 2 weeks, we might start giving it a bit of grain now.
Yes,
you just
too late.
You just look after them the whole time, have them in good nick. You can get a call to go to a bull ride next week, and you know you're right to go.
Yeah.
Whether it be 100k down the road or 12 hours away, you got them to do the job, and they'll perform no matter where they go.
And what was your first bull that won like bull of an event at a PBR? Do you remember which one it was?
We had
been any of them ones that you named.
Years ago, a bull called Big Show. He won Bull of the Super Bull of the Series here at Rocky. They had a PBR, I think, once a month at the Great Western, and at the end of the year there was one bull award, and he was it for the year.
Awesome.
So that was pretty good. And then 2005 at Townsville, Inmate won Bull of the Year there.
Yeah, wow.
And we've won a lot of stuff, but that was a pretty standout deal because at the time there was Maneater, Wild Thing, Bailey's, and just a lot of good bulls.
Really good bulls, yeah.
And that Skull was right there beside him too, and he beat all them bulls by a bit. So I was
pretty proud of that.
Pretty proud of that moment. And then it wasn't long after that. That was 2009. Sorry.
Yeah.
That Skull just come on, and just won everything.
Oh wow.
Well, most events he went to, he did good.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you how many he won.
And did you breed back with both them bulls?
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have much luck with Inmate. His calves themselves weren't very good.
Yeah.
But his daughters are producing. We got a couple through them, but that Skull's got a couple. Probably one of our better bulls now, Some Gave All. He's by that Skull, and
yeah, wow.
I think he's we put him over not as many cows as we should have done looking back, because at the time we were more interested in the American bulls and doing that style of thing instead of worrying about our own.
Yeah. And it's and he's still around, or
no, he's gone now. He was a number 5, like he was born in 2005.
oh
So
wow, yeah.
he did it all from his bucking career was good in when was that? Say 2010, 11, 12, 13, those sort of 4 years, he was at his best.
And what age do you sort of bring him to a PBR? Around 4?
But yeah, 4, 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
Try and get him in young.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, get him in younger.
And
Like,
do you get into the ABBI stuff? You've been doing a lot of that?
Yeah, I really enjoy that. Love the dummy deal. I get all about it. I don't care whether we're bucking bulls at home or putting a dummy on them or a big bull. Just if we're bucking bulls, it's all good.
As long as bulls are getting bucked, you're happy.
Just bucking bulls.
And you have had a few events on here at the moment.
Yeah, we've been pretty busy lately. The last 6 weeks we've been pretty constant. We've been out to Mount Isa Rodeo and a couple of futurities since then. Local rodeo at Brendan's. Had bulls at Hawkesbury last week. Armadale in a couple of weeks. Maryborough.
Yeah, awesome.
Starting to roll into the finals at Townsville. So
yeah, and you've got a pretty solid pen for Townsville, you reckon?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
After the next month, we'll be pretty content with what we've got. We don't know how many trips yet. We don't know sort of what bulls to pick out of yet. We've got 10 or a dozen there, but I know it'll come down to 4 to 6 sort of thing to go. So
yeah, I'm not sure how all that all works. Do they ask for certain bulls to come?
Yeah, it changes a lot.
Yeah.
Some years they go off standings, and other years they'll say, "You bring whatever you want, or you bring these bulls."
Yeah.
So it just changes. But I just front up. I'm happy to take 2 bulls. If they say we want these 2 bulls, I'm happy to take those 2 bulls.
Or if they want 20, then you'll.
I'll take 20. None of that. Yeah. The older I'm getting, the more I'm realising you don't focus on things that are out of your control.
Yeah.
You just roll along, and sometimes rules change, and there's always different people coming and going, and things changing. So just front up and buck your balls.
Yeah. The only thing you got control is your attitude, eh? So like, just rock up with a smile and
be happy
and
about
enjoy
it.
it.
That's it, and enjoy what you're doing. If you don't enjoy the sport of bull riding, it has a bad feel everyone around. Like, I enjoy bucking bulls at home by myself.
Yeah.
I enjoy bucking them at the PBR, at a rodeo, futurity deal. It's just, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, it just comes easy and it's enjoyable.
Did you get in on Hocus Pocus? Have you got any calves?
I haven't got any calves at all, boy.
No.
I didn't. No, I've got calves hitting the ground now by embryos. I like full American stuff, but I didn't use him at all. I don't know why. It'd be a silly thing, but
because it's pretty cool now that there's a few of them sort of.
Yeah, them incentive deals are really good for any breeder, but this is when you do have 2 cows or 200. It's a level playing field. It's a really good deal.
Yeah. Because I've only got a small mob at home, and I've just been doing them sort of incentive deals.
Yeah.
Like I did, I didn't do a Hocus, but I did riding solo, and then now buckle up.
Yeah. And they're all great bulls, and you're crazy not to be using that style of bull. They're producing over there, so whether they produce here over our different style of cow, I don't know, but you've got to take a gamble with it.
Well, only one way to find out, isn't it?
Just like everything, you breed from a good bull, it'll come through. You know, and you don't get better than riding solo. You don't get a better producer than Hocus Pocus, so it's got to come through.
Yeah, it was when I did it. All I wanted was heifers, because I just want to start me mob, and I just want to get a good base of females, and I got 1 heifer and all 7 bulls.
Oh, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Nah, see, it's a good thing. Anytime there's new straws coming over from the States, and there's so many coming over now, and you've got that option, you can do whatever you want. It's you can really dive into your own programs, and this cow, I'm going to go this bull, this cow, I'm going to go this bull, for this reason or that reason, whether you want them to raise up a bit more, or some cows can come from a line that's a bit flat, or however you want to do it. With these American bulls, they tip most of them criteria boxes.
Yeah.
So well.
I was speaking to a few contractors, and yeah, they liked it. They said they'll get the American bulls, which on average are smaller.
Yeah.
And then they'll put them with like a more bigger framed cow.
Yeah.
So then they're still getting the size they want.
Yeah.
Like that athleticism and that from them bulls in the States.
The American stuff has worked well over here. Like little yellow jackets work great. Like we've had Jackie Howe, Troubled Soul, a couple other young bulls that have been really good for us, and Hillbilly Deluxe, another great little yellow jacket bull. He's done his job.
Did you breed him?
Troy Keeler.
Yeah, Troy Keeler, yeah, I thought so.
He was at Troy Keeler, and he did a great, like he went over a lot of cows.
Yeah.
And then he produced really well as well. All them Ranger, Reload, Roy, all them are all hillbillies. It's worked out.
I've heard
really
hillbilly calves are wild, but once they start to settle, then they really find their strap.
When they settle, but he was a good bull bucking wise, and he bred on pretty well that way too.
We're out of all the bull rides you would have seen on your bull or on other people's bulls. What was the standout that you just holy? Like,
Well, I've watched a lot of bull riding.
Even a few, like just or
anything.
it doesn't have to be the best. Just one that stands out to you.
I watched Cody Heffernan one night at Emerald ride a bull house, the Hump. It was, I don't think, he probably was only 86 or 88 points or something, but it's just away from his hand. I think Cody Heffernan was
just dominated him.
Yeah,
just looked great.
How he rides away from his hand, I think, is as good as anyone, or I think he was good to watch. And then when I was only pretty young, I was lucky enough I got to watch Tim Wilson ride. And for someone that I never rode, then to watch him come on and just dominate whatever he got on, I thought was very impressive. And then watching like Aaron's career locally around here through the junior stuff was pretty special.
Yeah. And do you have kids of your own?
Yeah, I got 4.
Yeah. Is any of them going to be bull riders?
No, they're not interested in riding at all, but they love the feeding bulls and bucking bulls at home. Like, I got 2 little boys that are just all about it, and 2 little girls, 2 twin girls that just think it's special to go up and a bull comes and eats hay out of their hand still. So
yeah, that's awesome.
They think it's cool.
So the whole family is really involved in the whole show.
Everything we do is a family deal. Like most bull rides now, the kids are getting old enough. We go like as a family to most of them now, and it's rodeo as a whole is a family kind of deal. It's no one's out on their own. You just get together and go along, sort of thing.
And the finals would always be great to be able to take the family up there and have a little bit of a holiday.
I don't know. This is the first year they're going to come up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is the first year we've planned it all because it's our girl's birthday on the Thursday before.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm like, no, it's the Friday, sorry. So I don't want to miss their birthday, and I'm not going to miss the bull ride. So
Yeah.
I missed it when they were born, so I'm not going to miss it this time. So we'll take them all up.
Who's been like a big help when you are going to events? Is it you just on your own? Or?
No, I've got a great group of people around me.
Yeah.
Really good. Forever, we've had, like this dad, he's done it forever as well, and we've got Don Edmonston, he's carved the bulls for 20 years for us. He's been great. And then the last couple of years we've had young Brendan Buckholtz come on, and just that way you don't need to go to every bull ride. You can go to 2 bull rides one weekend, or however things work out, just having good people around. And we've got a couple of people locally here that help out at big events that, like when you got about 40, 50 bulls, we've got a couple of people here local we can call on to give us a hand. And everything you do is never just myself or one person. We've got a good support group around us. And then when we do go away, I've got a really good guy at home that comes and feeds, and it's
takes care of everything.
Yeah, everything's easy if you've got good people around you.
I always wondered that because I know it's hard enough for me, and I've only got 15, 20 bulls at home, or big bulls, and it's hard enough to get away for that. And I was like, how do these guys that have got 150 of them get away? But
good people around you, mate. Like, just surround yourself with a good support, positive people, and it just flows, and it's a good thing.
And all the guys that are involved, they all enjoy it just as much as you do?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
As soon as, oh, how'd this bull go? What happened? He had the, or it's always about a young bull. Like the older bulls, yeah, it's always, everyone's more excited about, oh, how'd the young bull, did he stand good? Was he nervous, this or that? And it's always, everyone just wants to see these young bulls come through and to be exposed to, like, because we've all seen them buck good at home.
Yeah.
Like they always buck at home, but then to get them out, showcase them on at a bigger stage, it's always a bit nerve wracking.
Yeah.
That's what we look forward to.
Is it pretty nervous knowing when they're ready?
Yeah, when to start them's always tough. Like we used to hold them off and bring them in as big 4 or 5 year olds, but it just, I don't know, it wasn't working. No, and then how I just think we'll bring them back a bit now. We just took, I think it was 10 3-year-olds out to Mount Eisner to the big rodeo, and they were perfect all deal. They stood good, they bucked good, they left, and then now we've got a line of bulls that we're ready to
take to PBR.
They PBR ready sort of thing, and then but now you don't get many trips at the PBR. You've got to really work out, manage your bulls to say, right, that we're going to take some old bulls to just, they're good old bulls that are only probably like 5 and 6, or we're going to take some young 4-year-olds that are going to be pretty electric. So it's a hard one to leave an old stable one at home.
Yeah.
But everyone loves to see young bulls.
Yeah.
You know.
And especially when you're bringing them up through, like them older guys, they can have a rest. Like them back in the big cup events or something where.
Yeah, your good bulls now, they don't do many trips. They only do half a dozen, 8 trips a year.
Yeah, wow.
Like they just sit back and just poke along slowly. And that's it. You got to really exercise them and feed them right so they can perform at that best. But them little 3-year-olds, they go to your local rodeos and do a lot more work.
And what is some of the stuff you do for their training and nutrition side? Just a lot of people that maybe are starting to get into bulls or something? Just
nutrition. Just look at what you're feeding them. Like ours are in a feedlot. We have a feedlot, so they're in a feedlot environment. High energy corn. We love our corn. Strong corn and oat and hay. Seems to work. And then ration them. Don't give them all they can eat. Don't give them, once you work out whether you're going to feed them 10 kilos or 14 kilos a day, whatever it's going to be, sort of stay true and don't change it too much, and it seems to work.
And with the exercise part of it,
we exercise them a little bit. We get them out up lanes and when we can, get them out in the paddock and run. But here in central Queensland, to go to New South Wales and Western Queensland, we've got to deal with the tick line.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to have them out in the paddock all year round, but I've got to have them locked up to be cleaned across the tick line.
And you're still able to keep them clean in like the yards they're in?
Feedlot's the best thing for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ticks don't live in a feedlot.
Yeah. Wow.
So once they're in there.
I'm from down south, so I don't know much about ticks or how they work, but I just know that because I bought 6 bulls from the Western when that deal was sort of done, and they got stuck in quarantine because then it pissed rain, so all the ticks come out of the ground and went up all over them, and they wouldn't pass it even if there was a dead tick on them, and them cheap bulls didn't end up cheap by the time I got them back.
No, it's a nightmare really, and like in the last few weeks we've been to Mount Isa, we've had to clear to go there. Roma had to clear to go there. I had to go into Armidale next week. We've got to dip them to go interstate, like little, and I just don't like dipping bulls. Like so.
You think it can make them crook if they get a
it's just
it or
it's just something you don't need to be doing.
Yeah, and it's everybody in the industry would know, but a lot of listeners probably don't. Like if they find one tick, that the whole truckload can't cross. Hey?
That's right. You say you've got a truckload of bulls going to an event, and we can go to say Grace Smith sale yards. We put up 20 bulls. First 19 have all gone through 100%. The last bull's got 1 tick.
Pack them up and take them.
They all stay home. It's a bit can be tough to swallow, but haven't been knocked back in a long time. So we did get knocked back years ago.
Oh really? Was it to a big event?
To the PBR finals.
Oh no.
Bull Riding Australia finals back in 2004. We had a
And was that your first sort of big event you were going to?
Yeah, we thought we were going down to win Bull of the Year with a big old Brahman bull quiver, and we were like, we had a good set of bulls at that time, and it was going to be a good weekend, and then we didn't get past Grace Smith.
Oh shit!
Scott Main's won Bull of the Year with Little Bighorn.
That would have been devastating, wouldn't
Oh, it was, but I let Scott know all the time that he needs to thank me for winning the Bull of the Year.
So he owes you one.
He does. He does, but no, that's just how them things go.
Yeah, and then probably just a hard lesson, like get everything ready and know.
Be more professional about it. If you want something, tick every box, make it happen.
Yeah.
Like if nowadays we go down to Tamworth in November, it's like we know we're going to go. We're going to be cross the tick line. Just get everything right. Do things right because you've told people you're going to be there, and you want to be there. So make it happen.
And I know I was speaking to Mitch Russell about it, and the one thing he likes with his bulls, if he did an event, he likes getting them back on the truck and getting them home as quick as he can. Is that something you sort of run with too?
Yeah, home's the best thing for them.
Yep.
Everything recovers and just the calmness of the animals just way better at home.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them using up energy at a sale yard when they aren't sure about.
Yeah, threatening just because it's new.
Even their old bulls, they can handle it. They just relax out way better in their own environment.
Yeah.
Like people are the same. Like you can be around your buddies and be somewhere, but you just still way more relaxed when you sit at your
Oh, definitely.
and they feel the same off that, I think.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter where you are, you'll try to get them home if you can.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Even if you go to an event, even if you just stop somewhere for a couple of hours just afterwards to feed and water them and then put them on and drive home.
Yeah.
Just to get them home is a good thing.
Yeah, wow. And what's the furthest you've sort of travelled with your bulls?
Oh, I've been...
Oh, you've been down to Victoria?
Yeah, Brandy took some down to Victoria back before COVID. We're setting up down there. He was going to stay down for a month or whatever it was for your bull rides. We did one bull ride and then COVID coming. We had to be back across the border by whatever day it was. So he packed up and got out of there, and then he's taking bulls up to Darwin for us. We've been up Darwin, but our standard's probably from Mount Isa to Townsville to Tamworth, I'd say.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's
everywhere in between.
Yeah. That 15-hour sort of radius.
That's about our standard.
Yeah. And how was it when COVID hit? Because I know that the Western got used as sort of the bull riding hub for a bit when they were trying to open it back up and not having the crowd. You did a lot of them events? Yeah,
it was... Once it started to open up again, we bucked a lot of bulls because it was all there in Queensland. So and they were doing 2-day things or 2 performances. So it was really good for us contractors in Queensland. But for the 18 months before that, we could take our bulls anywhere. That was a bit hard.
Yeah. And you put a lot of work in on at home?
Yeah, and there's only so much you can do to them big old bulls or bulls that are 6-year-old in their prime.
You can't put a dummy on them.
You can't do anything with them, so
you can't have people coming over when the lockdown was on, so...
Yeah, no one wants to come and get on bulls like Dragon and Tribal and old son at home, like, so...
You throw on a stick and go bullfighter.
It was a bit hard on them, that style of bull.
Yeah.
I feel a bit like that, I don't know, at the time they were 4 to 6 year olds, they sort of missed out on it.
Yeah.
On their best years sort of thing, but everyone's bulls did, so that's just how them ones go.
And when you're breeding, going back to the sort of breeding side, is there some cows that produce traits that you just don't like? Sometimes they're a bit sulky or they'll lay and then you won't breed to that?
It's a big thing, and our biggest thing is we had that skull, and in the shoot he didn't rear, but he used to always put his head up and never stand still. He'd always move and just sort of put up, and it was always hard because you always thought he was going to run the gate, but he never did. Yeah. And a lot of his calves are all
doing the same thing.
Just tough in the shoot. So it's always, and whether it be a standing trait like that or a bull bailing up in the arena, that all comes out.
Yeah, wow.
we had a bull domino effect. He bailed up and his calves do it, and it's like, wow. I just can't handle a lot more small enough and me about bulls bailing up. So I've got rid of every bit of domino effect.
So the one that leaves the arena first is probably going to be the one that you breed.
Yeah, if they're easy to handle, stand good, buck good, and leave, it's an easy weekend. It's an easy, and they look at, and the bulls that if they leave and good and clean, they're not knocking themselves around. So.
Yeah, and you think with the breeding you can have control on a lot of their traits?
I believe so. Everything's genetic. So if you want a bull that really jumps hard and kicks hard, you can go right down that line. But then you might not have many spinning, but they'll be kicking hard.
Yeah.
So then that's when you come back to a different bull or a different cow line to try and get the article you're looking for.
And do you see, like, you end up with cows and know their blood and know what a good cross is going to be? Or think you know what a good cross is going to be? Like,
well, when you
put up a spin makes sense, doesn't it?
You always think you're going to breed the good one. Everyone thinks I've got whatever bull I'm going to put out the cows, these calves are all going to buck. But it doesn't work.
Yeah. It was interesting what you said before about you had them bulls that bred back and a lot of their sons didn't buck, but then their daughters produced.
Yeah, our first lot of, like, that's gold. His first crop of calves, I got a couple of good junior bulls out of them, but that was about it.
Wow.
But then that cow line, they produced some really good bulls for us. That's where Drag Iron, he come out of that line. Tribal's another one. They're all out of that's gold cow line. And so it was a good deal for us, eventually, that side of things.
Yeah, and you're telling me about how many young bulls you're handling sort of each year. Like, around, was 100 or 100?
Well, we breed 160 cows, and then, so we get about 80 calves, I would say 70 bull calves on average a year of our own, and then a good mate, Scotty Mains, I get a few calves off him too, so...
End up around 100.
I can get over 100 bulls pretty easy to deal with every year, and when you start going through them, and it takes a bit, because I don't just put the 100 in the yard at once to go through. I'll just start and I'll bring back 30 or 40 back to the house, give them 3 or 4 trips, send them back to the paddock, get another mob in, go through them, and you do buck a lot of bulls.
Yeah. And I know there's other contractors that will sort of have certain paddocks and then draft bulls off in their certain talent and then keep bucking them and trying to figure out if they might just be sort of like rodeo bulls or good bulls, or these could be good futurity calves, or... Yeah,
everyone's got their pen of good bulls over here, that there's just never enough good bulls in. Everyone wants to get 50. Everyone wants a big lot of good bulls, but that just doesn't happen. No matter how you're breeding or whatever you're doing, you're never going to get a big lot of good bulls. But you got to aim for something. Yeah. But then we buck more 80-point rodeo bulls than anything else. Yeah. So we do have to aim for that a little bit. We do aim for the top end of bulls because you get your middle of the road bulls. It come through the whole time. You don't need to aim too hard to get.
And do you have any bulls that you've bred that couldn't buck worth a shit with a dummy on and then have made phenomenal rider bulls?
A few.
Yeah.
Not many. Most of, we had the Hump and Drag Iron, they're the two that stand out the most, that were just no good. Yeah. But nearly everything else.
And what age till they sort of started finding their...
I'd say as soon as I stopped putting the dummy on and just got kids on them, but I just like the dummy deal because they just learn to get up and stand in the chute. Yeah. And just learning to leave the chute clean's a big one. Because I never got on bulls, and everyone always says, oh, you never got on bulls, you don't know what it's like to get on one clean and this and that. The only thing I know is I want my bull to leave clean. And if he's leaving clean, you're leaving clean. You can't, a bull can't leave clean and the rider not. Yeah. So I need him to leave clean, and that's the best thing about the dummy. Yeah. You can get them up to teach them just to go, clean every time.
Yeah, so you put you take a lot of pride in putting the work in, so everything is going to leave safe.
Yeah.
And then come home safe.
That's what it's about. And at the minute we've got the big old Lossar, and he doesn't leave good, so I don't like that.
He bucks, but
you can't have it all. That's like one of them trade things.
Yeah.
You know, he's got all the bucking ability. He's really easy to handle everything other than the shoot procedure.
Yeah. He stood like a lamb when I got on him at Rocky.
Yeah, you must have taught him all the bad habits.
No, I got him out clean.
You did?
He didn't move.
And that's what it's about.
That's how light I am. He
Yeah.
didn't even feel I was there.
And that's how and I don't know why he just started. But then the last few times now he's leaving good, but
yeah, because he got high marks ball of the night that night when I got him on the New Year's on the Friday.
yeah. No, he's been pretty good. He's had a couple of event wins here at Rocky, and he had one at Tamworth the end of last year. He was pretty good down there too. But
will you look to be breeding with him, or you've got so many good bulls? Is it
so
hard?
many good bulls. A bull like him, his traits scare me a little bit.
Yeah.
But his dad, Troubled Soul, was a really good bull for us too. So it's hard not to want to use him, but I like the style of bull, like a some gay bull that just stands good. They're big, kick through, right there. I like that's probably more my style.
Yeah, that's interesting how because everybody likes different parts about a way a bull bucks. Some people would prefer a whooper, or some people.
Yeah.
Yes. So then that's the cool thing about breeding them. You can try to pinch that and be sort of like a mad witch doctor.
and no one's wrong either. That's the best thing about it.
Mm.
It's like the biggest debate: who's the best bull ever? There's going to be 10 different names thrown up, and it doesn't. And they're all good bulls. So.
And following him in the States, it was like when Whooper was stood out so much when he had his year, I was like, oh, he's probably going to win a few, and then the next year just another bull, and then another bull, and it's just it's incredible, like just coming and sometimes contracts you've never even heard of.
Yeah.
They're not a part of the big thing, and just they're probably 4 superstars, and then going all of them built for toughs. And
there's a lot of bulls over there that are just so good, but that's the over here we got a few bulls that are good, but over there there's just the level of good bull is just incredible. Like with me and Hader, like last week, whatever he was, 49 points or whatever, like
mental,
insanely good. Like,
and he's a bull that if I was trying to breed through it, I like his style, the big up down, and just looks like a big real strong bull, kicks through every time.
That's exactly. Stands good, leaves the chute clean as, kicks through. And then on his bad day, you're still going to be 93.
Yeah.
Like he kicks like text, and he's good to ride. Like you can see that about him. Like how Brady made him look at the finals. Like just
Brady, geez, he rode him good, eh? He made it was crazy. 87 they scored Brady, and then the next night it was 95.
Yeah.
I'm like, he bucked just as good with Brady on him, but Brady just rides so neat and so good.
He always has. He's been a great, and he's always been great to be around because he was a young guy that comes through the Great Western here, and you know, being a local person around Rocky with bulls, there's always been good riders coming through. So that's, I feel you get better bulls when you get them better guys getting on them all the time. And there's like Brady and then Peyton boys weren't far ahead of him and Aaron. Like, it makes a big difference with them getting on your bulls.
Because if you're getting a young bull and everyone just slides straight off him and no one, it's ends up teaching your bull bad habits.
Oh, that's the worst thing that you can have is a bull that one jumps guys the whole time, and then people think, oh, I've got this good bull, he's one jumping everyone, but then when you break it down, he's probably not real good.
Yeah.
And then you get a good guy, stick it on him, and he just cuts out. You're like,
yeah, that's what I'm nervous with my bull there, that broomstick, because he's just jumped everybody.
Yeah.
And he'll be 6 in October.
Yeah.
So, but he's had good guys on him, but you never know. Like he could get to the 4th jump, and if someone's after him, he shits himself and gallops down the arena.
You can hope not.
Yeah, I hope not, but you never know though.
No, you never do.
Do you prefer if your young bulls do get tested?
They've got to learn to buck for 8-10 seconds. it's this whole 1 jump, 2 jump. You gotta get your bull seen, like for the whole bull score deal and how it all works. They've got to buck. You show your bull off. It's got to be seen.
Yeah. And with the bucking at home, how long does it take you to get through bucking that many calves?
A lot. A lot of time, but we enjoy it.
Yeah. Do you have certain days that it's like, oh, this is bull days?
Nah, probably time of year it works, nearly.
Yeah.
Say March, April, we'll get stuck into our yearlings then. And that's when we will have at the feedlot, we'll have just a couple of pens of 2-year-olds and penny yearlings and this and that. And we'll just buck. Today we'll buck 100 bulls. Tomorrow we'll go back another 100. The next day we'll have a break because we'll be just worn out and come back and start bucking them again. That's what Easter's probably good for. We buck a lot of bulls.
Yeah, cool.
Over that time, and then hopefully you can cull some, so that way next time you buck them you don't have as many to go through. And that's the weeding out the ones that are just no good, or that too, you're never going to get them out clean, or just if you can get rid of that and then focus on your ones that are going to be suitable junior bulls or suitable futurity bulls, or ones that are really good but they're not suitable junior bulls, or they go out 2 or 3 so they're not going to be good futurity bulls, so you got to go set them in the paddock for a bit longer and things like that. That's what I really enjoy, that side.
And with the younger bulls, do you just use standard size chute, or do you shorten the box? And
I use a normal, I've got a big chute, a normal size chute. For the first probably 2 trips I'll just tie it over a bit.
Yeah.
But then I like to give them full chute. About 3rd trip I let them have the whole chute.
Yeah, wow.
Just to get them used to their space.
Event, yeah.
And then because you never know where you're going to go with them or what setup it's going to be. It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
So I try to make it as unperfect at home as I can, because it's never ideal.
Yeah.
And you want them to feel. So when you go to Tamworth and they're using the big preferts on a yearling bull, he's going to stand. Or you can go out to Roma a couple of weeks ago, the shoots are a bit smaller, they still stand there. They're always comfortable in their environment.
Yeah. And did you have much success over the last few weekends at the AVVIs? Yeah,
we've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
We've won a couple of them.
What's some of the prospects you got coming through?
We've got a little brindle bull, 272. He's a humdinger calf.
Cool.
Just there to the left, he kicks hard, drifts out of there a long way. So.
And you like that style of bucking?
I do.
Especially with the dummy on it?
Yeah. Just leaving the chute. A lot of them dummy bulls, what I like to see, they leave clean and kick through. Yeah. That first one, they've got to explode. Because then generally go downhill. It's no different than you get a bull at the PBR. They've got to bang out of the chute.
Yeah.
It just, to get your big scores, you got that bull to explode up and everyone raise their chin up and be like, wow, that's what we're about.
Yeah.
You don't, a bull doesn't just come out and build up to that. It's got to start with a bang.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to grab people's attention
instantly.
From the start.
And that's what I try to, I just buck bulls and keep bucking enough bulls, and the ones that leave there, that's what I'll focus on. Even if they go 1 or 2, they can come. That sometimes they shorten up, and that's your better ones.
Well, we'll take a little break and then we'll get back in on.
Sounds good.
Ozcan Rural, providing Southwest Victoria with everything related custom sheep and cattle yards. Get in touch with the fellas via email ozcanrural@gmail.com. That's AUS, can like the one you drink, rural@gmail.com. Building fences straighter than your local politician. Welcome back. And what were some of the bulls that inspired you when you were first getting into it?
Years ago, I remember when I was only a little kid, Dad took me in to the Rocky Roundup, the Peter Jackson series they had here at the Rocky Showgrounds, and there was bulls there. There's the Chainsaw. I saw Chainsaw. I don't remember him at all, but he was there. Vibrator, Brother, that style, like Scatter, like McPhee was there with his pen, and that pen at the time
was solid.
And everyone knows that bulls he had. And then what I can remember bulls bucking, there's Campbell and Ryan Frame had the Jungle Rumble. Like, he was a really good bull. Ken Hansen had Cloud 9. Big white bull on his day was as good as any bull you'd see of other people's. And, you know, then at that time, Dad, he had like Big Show, Quiver, and Cool Cat was probably, I'd say, nearly our best bull we've ever had.
Wow.
A Big Brindle, dead quiet bull, but you just never knew what he was going to do.
And what was his sort of bloodlines?
He was a cold blood.
Oh, wow.
Cold blood. Dad got him off Clay Ballantyne. One day, it was 6 months before the Super Bowl series was going to kick in here at Rocky. Dad got the call saying, you're going to be at the Western every month for 12 months. Can you give a pen of bulls? And Dad said, yeah. So then we went and got a couple more. We went down to Clay's one weekend and we put the dummy on a heap of bulls, and I think we walked away with 5 or 6 bulls, and they were really good bulls. There was Wicked Twist, he was a good one for us. Cool Cat, Storm Shadow, Spin Cycle, Whiteout, they all just were good bulls at the one time.
And there was, I know that there's a lot of people sort of talk about it now, that the sport's getting to a stage where it's nearly futurity bulls and rodeo bulls, like the breeding is getting sort of so different, like them young bulls that develop really quickly, and some of them older bulls that will develop and then go for longer. Do you find that in your program? Some of it not so much.
When I look at one of our better bulls we've had is Jackie Howe. He's probably the best bull we've ever bucked with the dummy, and then he went on, he got bull of the finals at the PBR, so
carried it all the way.
He did it the whole way through.
Yeah.
But then we've had a lot of bulls that have been great yearling and 2-year-olds.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends.
Yeah, wow.
And then we've had other bulls,
late maturing
bulls that are no good with the dummy, so then they just make junior bulls, and then they go on with it from there. So it's
And does it bother you which way they go, or you prefer?
No, it doesn't matter at all. Yeah. I aim to breed a short goat bull at Townsville. That's what you aim for. Or big time rodeo bull out of Mount Isa. That deal out there, it's great.
Yeah.
The atmosphere of that daytime bull riding, I think
it's pretty cool.
It's pretty. It's for a big open stadium in the middle of the day bucking bulls. It's a good feel.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing Mount Isa?
Oh, fair while now. Brandy does the contract, and he's been taking a few of ours for a while now. Like, he gives us the call every year, and we go out for the last, I'd say 5-6 years we've been taking a truckload out, so it's been real good.
And what's some advice you'd give to a young fella that wants to start getting into breeding bulls? And
there's no right or wrong way about looking at cows, or should I buy cows off this one or this one. There's no right or way wrong.
Yeah, well, they just need to listen to how you did it. You bought off everyone and had success with everyone. And
it might work, that cross might work, or it might not. You don't know. Just jump in, give it a go, and stay with it.
Yeah.
If you're breeding and it's not working, change a couple of things, but not every match is going to always work out.
Yeah.
Just stay with it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the process.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
you got to keep loving just the animals. And
if you don't like bulls or bull riding as a sport, just move on.
Yeah.
But because the people that are in it and really enjoy it, don't spoil it for them.
Yeah.
We don't need people coming in that are just about it for different reasons.
Yeah.
Enjoy the bulls, look after the riders, and get about it.
And there's, how do you sort of pick what's going to be a good cow? Like, I find that so hard. Like,
it's a hard one.
Like, how long will you keep a cow until you decide that maybe she's not something that's going to hold up in your program?
Well, it's hard. I get rid of all my cows too young.
Yeah.
my good 3 and 4 year old bulls now, I don't have their mothers. I've already got rid of them.
Oh, bugger.
So it's hard when you get this many bulls coming through to keep their heifers.
Yeah.
So I'd have sisters to my good bulls, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, because there's if you're having that many bull calves, you're having that many heifers.
Heifers are a nuisance to me. There's that many. And now everyone's got them, and everyone's got good breeding.
Yeah.
Like it used to be, oh, he's got the best breeding, you can buy some of them or do this, but it's wide open. Everyone's breeding's good now. Everyone's got access to the best in the world.
And really it's they're cheap for what they are. The amount of work to get some of these heifers, like with the bloodlines they have in them, it's nothing, eh?
A lot of people have done all the hard work for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, if you want to get in the sport, you can go and buy a dozen really, really well bred heifers and you start breeding.
Yeah.
Really, pretty simply.
And you've got access to, there's that many good bulls around, and with the whole straw deals.
Yep.
Like a lot of people don't realise, but it's actually cheaper to buy riding solo straws in Australia than it is in America.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like even because I was staying at JW's place, and he's got that good young bull Rip.
Yep.
And yeah, they're $1,200 American, them straws.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Mitch James, he's done a lot of great work here bringing these straws over. It's done just, the straws are sitting here, use them.
Yeah.
It's working over there. It's definitely use it here. It's worth a go.
And we can never look past how great the breeding that we already have here too. So like you can grab great Australian thing and then have a fiddle with whatever.
There's a lot of great programs here in Australia, and a lot of them are all different too. Like for us up in Queensland here, we always have heard about, you got the Gills down in New South Wales with their style of bull, and then you got Woodalls, and there was Mazan, all these people, Hampenstall. Everyone's got a different style of bull, and none of them's right, none of them's wrong. They're just bulls.
Good bulls, yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. I know this was something a lot different to what you're normally used to, but I think there was plenty of value, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Appreciate the time.
Cheers, mate.